Yep. I'd like to call the special board of trustees meeting to order. And if we all rise for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Roll call.
Maloney,
Here.
Tagami is excused. Cronin,
Here.
Ermeling, Hardinger. He's on. Oh, maybe he's not.
Jasper.
No, he isn't. Somebody else
Okay.
is.
All right.
Vincent
Present.
and Wyland is absent. If I
Here.
see.
No,
Oh, she's
no.
here.
He's on.
She
Wyland
is.
is here.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay, public comments. Any public comments for us tonight? Any public comments? No. Any public comments? Okay. Minutes from previous meetings, 4 and 5, approval of 5/10/23, special board of trustees meeting, and approval of 5/15/23, board of trustees meeting. Motion to approve by Ermeling,
Second.
second by Cronin. Any discussions on the matters? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Old business. Number 6, discussion and or action on the farmer's market eligibility and standard operating procedures. I think did we just push that to here? Thinking that we might have more to talk about or not?
Yeah, I think that was the
Yeah.
case. We
I
were
don't think we,
interested in possibly having continued discussion about it. I don't know if there was, I think there were some questions
Mhm.
in between
Mhm.
last meeting and now as well.
Mhm.
Um,
if anybody has questions, go ahead. I thought more was gonna come back. I thought we were gonna get some more information back on everything. I've seen some emails on different things and.
Well, did we
There was some
get
information.
answered as far as the gift card? I mean,
Mhm.
and all that, I don't know. I didn't see the answer to it.
So what was, I went through your report, Jessica, thank you very much for sending that. I'm sure you understand it way, I know you understand it way better than I do, but I didn't count. Didn't you mention it was like $2,000 or something? And wasn't it only like 650 or 550 or something?
what?
That we paid, how much do we pay the market manager in gift card?
It's less than 600.
I could have swore, and I'll watch the tape, but I could have swore it was like 2,000 that was stated in the thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I questioned
Oh my gosh, you love that.
Well, I mean, in my world, I mean, what kind of liability, what kind of wage an hour? I mean, I know it sounds like more of a thank you, but you get into different issues when some of that's happening, you know, and who's deciding when, who's deciding how much. I mean, it sounds like Pretty Woman, but I love that show. Anyway, but how do you do that? You know, how does that all work? So that's kind of the questions I have is, and then who's to say somebody else isn't doing some more work, and then where's that gift card? So anytime I dive into gift cards and what I do, I have no history, I have no, you know, documentation on it. That gets a little cloudy.
We can change the procedures. Right now, there was no authorization any other way to reward, like we used to, when they came and played for music, we gave them a gift card because there was no authorization to give them a wage or any other compensation. So we thanked them for doing it by a gift card. So that's definitely something we can change. It's just the way it's
Mhm.
always been done.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Could we get something like in the budget? Obviously, you may or may not have already paid it out this year already, right?
Yeah, it's in the budget.
Right, but for dollars for an actual wage. So for the market manager, instead of here's all these Target gift cards equaling $590 or whichever, it's $40 a week times however many weeks equals $590. And just.
we have to officially hire her. I mean, if village board wants to hire a market manager, we could go.
Well, I
wouldn't be a
think it
third-party
actually,
contractor?
it may actually come to the point where what do we want our involvement to be in? I mean, could it be a separate entity? You know, the Wausau one, when Red was running it, you know, he ran it. I don't believe Wausau was involved in it.
Also has nothing to do with their
Right.
farmers market.
And I don't think it was run the best, back in the day. But, and I know it's fun, I know it's exciting, it's a neat thing that we have going on here. But I just think we have to be a little watchful, a little more careful. And,
That's a position maybe we should advertise for right now. I talked to Renee, we don't have anyone in that capacity that
Mhm.
would be able to effectively run
Right.
our farmers
So-
market.
so you help there and then this other person does, but she also has a booth there.
Correct.
And so we do these little tokens. Okay, so we do tokens and tokens, the reason for tokens is because I went there without a checkbook or cash. I'm just example, and I have a credit card. All right, so we took it upon ourselves to get a mobile credit card reader, right? Or do we have one that goes like this? Which
No,
which-
it's electronic.
electronic one, okay, so that's happening there, and then the fees are paid by us, all that. We must have to seek out that person who has that. So I'm a guest, I'm driving by and I go, oh my gosh, I can't use my credit card, no, but that person over there has a machine that she'll give you tokens. And is it a token for the face value, or is there a fee added on, or no?
So to cover our fees, we charge a fee.
Oh, we do, okay.
So we don't, so
I wanna
the village
spend-
isn't out
I
anybody.
think I wanna spend $50. And so I do the $50.
$3 fee,
Huh?
$3 fee. I
$3
just
fee,
bought
okay, so
$50 worth
6%,
2
that's
weeks
good.
ago. Yeah.
And then I get these tokens at like $5 a piece, $10 a piece.
They're $5 tokens.
And can I return them if I don't spend them all?
You get cash back. So like if you went to buy a euro for $9 and you gave them two $5 tokens, they would give you $1 back.
Right.
If
And
you.
we reimburse the hero gal for $10. Yep, okay.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to get this wrapped around my head. So if you're not there, then this manager is handling that.
Yeah, so like last year, we did over $17,000 in tokens.
Oh my God, my God, my God. Okay.
So it's a huge deal.
And it's, wow. So and we are very confident that we are tracking that well and watching that well.
Who is
And the tokens aren't, being,
So we have a separate revenue account for when people swipe their credit card, the credit card company gives us the $50 that I purchased. And then that is recorded as a revenue. And then the credit card company charges us fees, and that's recorded in an expense account as credit card fees. And then when we pay out the tokens, that's in other expenses. And as I emailed Jim before, those we always check to make sure they're pretty close. They're not gonna be exact on, because I know last year I bought tokens and they're still in my house.
okay.
So you're not gonna match exactly, but the goal is that they're close. And if you
Well,
look at the bank,
then in reality, then we should be over. We should actually have more than what we do, because it's kind of like gift cards. Gift cards is
I held on those $50 from last year and spent them this year.
Right,
That
yeah,
means we
yeah, then it
pushed
comes
out
back,
more, yeah,
Now it's gonna show that you're in the red
yes.
because you
We
had.
got the money last year.
You found those in your sock drawer and brought them down and.
But
Watch your
I think
tomato.
gift cards are, during the holidays are, I think 10 to 20% are absolutely even higher. That they're, Christmas time, they lose them, they throw them away in the gift wrap. And they count on that as a profit center, so I would think we would be over too. Yes, you're right, they can bring them back to next year, so.
I also have an agreement with Aspirus. So when someone goes in for a physical, the Aspirus doctor gives them a card saying that they get $20 in tokens. So I have a special token, so they come in dollar increments, and that person turns in the card. We give them the Aspirus tokens, and then Aspirus reimburses us.
Wow, to shop at the farmer's market, thinking that it's fresh and good for you, okay.
Heroes are good for you.
Huh?
Heroes are good for
Yeah,
you.
I'm saying that's good, yeah. Okay.
But who actually? My concern is we really don't have anybody necessarily in charge or running. I mean, I know, Renee, you were there far more than what you should be. But, because I've stopped in on Saturdays and she's there. But I guess my concern originally, I remember years ago, was that how much time staff, being right now, Renee, is actually putting into the farmer's market. And I understand it's not taking away from your other duties, but is this going to get us into any kind of legal issues of, I know you're exempt employee, but
You can't stretch an exempt that far. I mean, you know, so we're probably extremely fortunate that it's Renee. If it wasn't Renee and it was a stinker employee and they were tracking how much time over all the other exempt employees I'm working and staying later. And after 5 or 15 or some years, you know, this is boom. This is baloney and I was treated this way and I was treated bad and whatever. I mean, those are just red flags that a lot of companies watch for.
and I
So,
wonder if we should advertise for someone to run it or, you know,
I mean, we're very fortunate that Mary, you know, because some people who just hire a market manager, they're paying them anywhere from like $12 to $16 an hour. So that's almost like $5,000. And we're giving her less than 600 and she's fine with that, but she's very responsible. You know, she, you know, if I'm not there, you know, she makes sure that people are getting their tokens and, you know,
what is her booth? What does she sell?
she has like dishcloths and scrubbies and stuff like you can all do in the kitchen. So, you know, you're preparing all your food and stuff like that. Stuff like hot pads, stuff like that. When we had COVID, she had made masks, so she did really well with the masks and stuff.
I think there's gonna be we're not gonna finish anything. today, right? Everybody agree? Okay.
We're not, I just,
Right.
but to that point,
Mhm.
when I looked at your fees, what is a yearly, what's a yearly?
125,
And a daily is 20.
yes.
So if you wanted to fund, because I did the math, if you wanted to fund paying someone, you, in my opinion, as a business owner, you could easily double that yearly fee and no one would balk about it. Because at figuring it at 26 weeks a year, 2 days a week, they're paying $2 and some change per day to have their booth.
Yeah, and I actually did raise it this year. Like for instance, like a food vendor, like, and granted it's, you know, but like at the fair is $1,000.
Yeah.
And that's for 1 week.
Right.
You're getting the whole summer.
Because you pay for the space, then you pay for electricity, those are all ads. UFW has a thing at the fair and they.
And I mean, some of your bigger markets like Appleton, Green Bay, Oshkosh, when they're just the one, they're charging about $600. But they also have thousands of people coming.
What does Wausau charge for a yearly rate?
They're probably anywhere from 150 to 200. That alternate market is charging 200. They're really struggling it's kind of a mess right now. They're trying to get people to help clean up their site where they want it.
Well, that's a selling point. We've got a beautiful site, very busy intersection. You can't beat it. You can't beat it. I mean, $120 in my opinion should be $240.
And so I have also agreement with our school district. So starting on June 14th, from 12 to 12:45, it's called Rolling Readers, and they'll go in the gazebo and they give away free books for kindergarten through 6th grade. So
I think we should raise also, but I think we should tell them now for next year.
I agree.
You know, so it's not a surprise. And I know that you feel like it's hard, but it really won't be hard. And they'll be happy because, you know, and then it's, you know, if they stay and they keep paying, then they get that almost that guarantee of being there. I agree. I think it's easily, I mean, with the upkeep, the electricity, we did a gazebo, we put benches, we cut the lawn, we.
they actually don't cut the lawn, so that's good.
Who cuts the lawn?
Black
Oh, who does?
They're
Oh,
responsible under, there's a lease agreement.
and then who does the gravel? We do or they do?
We have been.
And who does the toilets? We do. We do. Okay.
Yeah, when you start adding all that in and then you look at our expenditures, I don't see a reason that our rates for that.
I think
are
they'd be
not
happy. I do. I really do.
okay, I guess one other question. Now, who handles the tokens with the credit cards? Who does that?
Mary, the market manager.
Okay,
So is there any kind of like?
And so she's the one that they come to her like, you know, to buy them, okay?
Right.
And then what I will do every other Tuesday, I collect them.
right.
And I write them a receipt, I scan it in, and then I cut them checks every other Thursday.
Yeah.
Well, the whole catch is with Jessica, so it all has to balance there. It's not balancing with Mary, it's balancing with Jessica. So,
That's why we do look to make sure there isn't a huge variance between the revenue and the expenditures.
'cause you'll catch flags if something is starting to get abused.
We're only gonna catch it if it's really significant.
Yep.
I mean, it'd
Or
be
just-
ideal if we could say any token that's not used, you're cut off, and then that would be ideal, but we can't do that. So, or I don't think we can do that.
So would it be an idea then, if we would look at for 24 to increase that 125 to a higher number? I don't know if we look at the daily rate, is it?
And then just use that extra money to pay Mary more?
Well, have a dedicated market manager, and you have a lot of stuff going on. Even if it's 3 or 4 or 6 hours a week, would it be great if you had 3 or 4 or 6 hours a week to do other stuff upstairs? I'm just saying.
Saturdays is also, I mean, she's there on almost every Saturday.
I understand that, but if she was there 0 Saturdays and we paid Mary or Susie
Well,
Smith
right.
or Joe Jones, and we had dollars built into the budget for next year, Jessica can work with us now, we can make this position, create this position. Would they have to be a Village of Weston employee, or could they be a third-party contractor? That you're paid a stipend of X number of dollars, you do the Facebook posts, you do the social media management, you work with the rolling readers, you get the public works, you work with Michael and get the public works week happening and all the other fun, exciting stuff that we have happen down there. So all of those responsibilities off your plate, and now that's on the market manager.
And then you
I think
can
it might
manage
have-
it versus physically, I don't want anyone to feel like that we're trying to wreck this.
No,
I think it's
At all.
great.
I think it's fantastic. I mean, honest to God, the neighborhood, family that comes here, they just can't believe it. They just, I mean, are you actually part of that? I mean, is that actually in Weston? They can't believe it, I go, yeah, it's really cool, especially the Mennonites with the moms, I mean, my God, you can count on them being there with those. Those are some of the best moms. And in fact, we buy moms from them for our customers.
well,
So,
my biggest concern is, we
But-
are doing
Mhm.
something, and I think we do need to do it. It's a
Mhm.
success because of Renee.
100%.
oh, I think she's done a super
But
job.
you can still oversee and manage that market manager.
And I've given her a lot more responsibilities and I told Jessica this summer, like, I'll be there this Saturday because I have another new vendor coming. But I was gonna go up north more this summer and let's let Mary, have that and stuff. But I just, I think the customers appreciate when I walk around, I talk with the customers and the vendors and they, there's so many posts that this is the best market and, they're just so happy we're friendlier and we have dogs that come. I mean, they're in a variety. And I guess my goal is to try to make it a destination, to have a bunch of varieties.
Then, we gotta make this right for you too, so I guess I would question, what has to be done with you on Mondays, Monday mornings especially? What?
I don't do.
What is, I mean, certain days of me, I have to do certain things. And Monday morning, I've got a report that has to get out to the whole company. Is there anything that's so pressing for you on Monday? I mean, when does payroll start for you?
Well, every other month, like this coming Monday, so I just did payroll
It's
this
every
week.
other.
So Monday, first thing I'll come in the morning and I will pay the state, federal, social security.
But what I'm saying, what I'm trying to get to is, all right, so we're elongating your week. Can we elongate your weekend into Monday? So maybe make Monday a 4-hour day. And then I'm sure you're gonna say, oh my God, no. And I'm sure you're somebody that just, oh my God, no, don't even start. And you're laughing because you're so damn nervous right now. I can't not be there. I can just imagine.
Yes, they will attest. Pam is one. She knows I will always, and Jessica, like, I will always be here no matter what. It just,
Well,
We're not trying to kick you out of the farmer's
we
market.
gotta, I probably halt this a little bit and come up with, but I just don't want anyone leaving here thinking that we're trying to do anything at all to stop or wreck or punish or anything. We want it to excel. We want it to be more, bigger, everything.
Look at what it started. It was 9 spaces in the dirt over here, and now we've got
Yep.
this essentially purpose-built area on a
Mhm.
triple the traffic
Well, I mean,
intersection.
Raleigh bought that house on the other backside of Dollar General to put more parking. So that, because some of the employees of the mall part, the strip mall, were saying, where do we park? We'll park behind. I think they are doing that, but I thought he was gonna gravel that.
I thought it
And
was,
put some
well,
more in.
initially, they had talked to us about going behind Gunnarsson Cleaners. And so Nate put together a map and we, because we can't just willy-nilly have them parked there. They were supposed to like get rid of some of their debris and the next thing you know, there's raised gardens for Gigi's Playhouse. So there was no room back there.
And but then also some of the owners and the leasees or leaseors are probably thrilled with the foot traffic there on Saturdays. I know,
I think
go
it's-
there, I get out as fast as I can. But I'm sure some are looking around and seeing something new or maybe getting a bite to eat too, so, Okay, I mean, I don't know.
That was my concern. I don't want to unravel this because Renee is, but yet I think we need to do something that
Yeah.
feels more professional, that we aren't relying on Renee.
Correct. We're looking out for your best interest. You deserve to have
I don't-
weekends
I don't
off
think
too.
she
You shouldn't
feels
have
that.
to be there
I
every
don't think she
Saturday.
feels.
Yeah.
I think staff likes that too.
Yeah.
It's a neat deal. It's an extension of the staff, it's pretty cool. It's to be part of something that people enjoy, like the parks or something, instead of collecting taxes, or doing something, or even voting and having to wait 300 people in line. That's not fun. That's fun, so, yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys.
Okay.
So I would make a motion then this evening to have staff, not just Renee, let the whole team look at it that's involved at the farmer's market. Look at creating a market manager position, whether it's a subcontractor or a village employee, likely a subcontractor would be better position for 2024 farmer's market. Still keeping Renee involved with it, but that would maybe free up some of her time. Keeping her involved with it and then look at adjusting our farmer's market rates in order to fund that so that Jessica could plan accordingly.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, everybody understand that? Jamie, you hear that?
I hear that.
Okay, thank you. So any more?
Jasper's on now too.
Okay, any more in discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Also carried. I was gonna turn the bass down a little bit. All right, new business, number 7. Thank you, Renee. Discussion and or action on bids and contract award for salt shed. Is this that fabric?
I distributed the latest updated bid tabulation. So I'm not sure by screen, but I guess to explain what's on there. This is another case we had only one bidder, although there was 2 different possible suppliers of the material for the salt shed. And then there were options on design that were offered as that were out there for the bidder or bidders to give us numbers on. So I guess up on the screen, I have what is referred to as option 2, which is referred to as a bunker panel design. So you can see that there's a interior 7.5 foot wall that's used to contain the salt inside the building, and outside those that concrete wall is then the fabric structure itself with the steel trusses, which are also on a slightly raised foundation, concrete foundation. But you can see, I guess, the possibility that there's a void in between the backside of those concrete, that concrete wall and the tarp or fabric shed itself. So I guess depending on how this structure gets loaded, there's a good prospect of material getting back behind there and then needing to be cleaned out.
You're also losing square footage for storage.
Right, so option 3,
Our existing shed though, do we not stack that salt any higher than 7 feet? Or is this just for this design?
that's just for this design.
So this
There is
design
that
would be
angle.
7 foot in a horseshoe fashion. And then you would peak it a little bit if you were really good. at
Well, it'd
doing it.
actually be put in, pretty much.
Yeah, but the back wall is 7 feet tall too, right?
Right.
Okay.
There's also the option to put in an interior wall to kind of keep that salt a little bit farther away from the, say, the far north end, so that there could be some other material stored in there, like coal patch or something like that.
Have we needed that in the past?
Our existing salt shed is what size, what dimension? Anybody know?
It's about the same dimensions as what is built here
To include that.
in terms of
lean-to area.
square footage and volume. I'm sorry,
To include that lean-to area though, that we've got the cold patch and stuff in.
we'll be adding that again later, somewhere down the line.
And this would go in like in the direct corner of the back or not? It actually
On
can't.
the corner of the parking lot, there's a,
In the northeast corner?
right off the northeast corner of the building.
And then there isn't that pond that keeps going to the fence or no?
Right. So it
There
would
is?
be on, it would be off the northeast corner of the building. It wouldn't be farther north on the site. It would be kind of right directly behind the northeast corner of the building.
So it wouldn't be in this grass area too? Well, we'll get to that later. Let's talk.
No,
about
it's gonna
construction
be
first.
on essentially the northeast corner of the parking lot area there.
We're taking up some of the parking area.
Okay, so back to this, so if you look at the way that these two different buildings are constructed, you're only gonna go in to store salt from one end of the shed, correct?
It's actually gonna have.
Or is it gonna have access on both?
Yeah,
Oh,
yes.
oh,
You can't access that on your, the way you have it drawn.
How are we gonna use it though? Because,
How do we use it
so
now?
when I look at, if we did, let's just say we did 62 by 140. That's 8,680 square feet. If we lose 7 feet of space around the, oh, hang on a second, I didn't, give me a second here. Sorry.
Our current one you just enter from one end, right? We don't have
Right.
doors on both ends.
No, we don't.
Do we need doors on both ends? Like we're not,
You can see-
we're not storing dairy products in here or something that's gonna get rotated out like this is salt.
If we want to store some coal patch or other things in the building, then yes, we would need to get in. Michael's on. I don't think John was able to, sorry, I don't think Michael was able to be on tonight. He's got a baseball
That's okay.
game.
So you're looking at roughly 8,600 square feet. If we give up 7 feet around that entire perimeter, we're losing 1,400 square feet of available.
Right, and we're not,
That's a lot of space.
we're not favoring that, that number 2 option.
Okay,
We are saying that if we're gonna do this, we should go with this, this.
I agree for
Design right here.
$20,000 difference.
See how this
Absolutely.
is.
Cheaper for option 3.
No,
So you have that 7-foot perimeter wall all the way around.
484 and then 506.
So,
Who is that?
sorry?
mute everybody, but.
Yeah, what's
yeah,
that?
just do that.
Not sure what,
Then if they want to talk,
Then
they
they
might
can
have to
come down.
raise their hand or something.
Yeah, if you go from bid option 2 to bid option 3, you're getting 16% more square footage for an extra $20,000. That's a no brainer.
okay, so we're recommending then that this salt should be that 62 by 130 dimension. So the 2 bid options, number 3 on the bottom side of this, if I can get my,
The number's different on the top and bottom. Or are we
Well,
looking at this
okay,
revised
so-
number? Is it?
so when this was bid, the intention was to get the base bid of the building itself, and then the alternates were to indicate the extra cost of doors, either manually operated or power operated. The bid was not structured that way, so the updated numbers show the bid with deductions for, well, also a size. The bidder was given the latitude to to give a number for a alternate size, if it could give the same or greater storage capability. So the intention was to get this 62 by 130 size in the base bid. So there was also some misunderstanding by the bidder that we wanted electrical options in the base bid, and that was not the case. So what we have is for one of the options, for the third option, the perimeter wall was 529,000 was the bid with the manual doors, with the deduct and manual doors. The 62 by 130 structure is $506,600. If you go with power doors, there's the base bid was 534,500. The deduct being 13,400, so $521,100.
What kind of a, I mean, are these sliding doors that go this way?
Be an overhead
Just a
door,
standard
just like,
issue.
An overhead door? Wow.
So
it's my understanding, yes.
Well, the end of it's gonna be closed, right? And then there's just gonna be an overhead door roughly the size of a dump truck.
Right,
That would be in the end of that. It's not the whole thing.
right, there'd be an opening,
yeah, like a 14 by 14 door or something.
Right.
right.
Where are the engineering and architectural fees? So if we just okayed 40,
They're part of the project. And
so another 50 grand on this?
no,
Okay,
He's
That's
already
built in.
he's already been paid for the
Right.
building, right?
Right.
And this is,
this is part of the building.
okay.
How is this part of the building?
it was part of
Because
the
I thought
scope,
we threw it
part of the
out.
scope of the original project.
Keith, I am on if you need my assistance in any conversation.
Okay, so if you hear me misstating something, jump right in. But in terms of the architect engineering fee on this, no, it's part of the scope of the project.
So you're saying it was already paid when we wrote a check for $15.7 million for this?
Well, it's the architect engineering fee that was stated in
Right,
the
but that-
contract, $500,000, and then there was an add-on for
Okay,
doing
so-
the second.
So he's been paid for it. There's nothing additional.
I think we've paid out the entire amount of the engineering AE fees on this. I know it's the $500,000 realm right now, so.
John, is that correct?
Some slight amount left.
Yeah, we fulfilled our contract, and since then, we've bid this out twice, so 3 times total. So pretty much what we did is Michael did all the legwork on this last round for the hoop, and we just helped him assemble the documents.
Okay,
So this, whatever numbers are on here, this 531,000, let's just say. That's just stroke a check to Ellenbacher for 531. There's no additional fees to CUNY Architects.
That's correct, sir. I mean, if you guys, when we're in town, if you want us to stop by and give us your expertise to look at it, we're here to do that. But there's no, pretty much, when we built the other building, those, any fees that would have been for the salt building to be built would have been in conjunction with the building, your main building being built. But there again, we see these being built, so we're more than happy to help you when we're in town for the safety building to help, oversee it and help you through the build process.
The real question I'm asking, John, is that essentially you got paid to design and bid this for the last 2 years, right? Like, we're not starting from fresh. Okay, good. Yep, good.
And the placement of where this is gonna go, how, from is it the white or the black? Which one is it? The white one?
It's the white.
Alright, so then what's the distance from the white to the building? How much traffic are we gonna have there?
well, they got a ton of space back there.
Yeah, as much room as all this is here, it just seems like we've wasted a lot of it with these ponds and all the frontage and I don't know, it just seems like there's not a lot of room back there.
Can we move that? Does it have to be there? right now, concrete current or asphalt currently exists in that whole thing, right?
No, not all the way.
No, the asphalt was left out of this.
I think it's gravel right now, right?
So that's gravel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's some expansion places that we have, obviously not the front corner, we don't want to go there. But, you know, where we would build onto this building, if we ever did, that whole area could be expansion, that could be parking, it could be the salt shed, and then you'd have to beautify the front somehow. But if you put that salt shed in the back there, I just,
Can we move that way
The new
north?
expansion area is right north of the garage.
correct.
Right.
Mhm.
Why, how come we don't have it all the way to the north in that corner, Keith? Is there a
There's a
reason?
pond there.
Well,
The
right,
pond
you
goes
can't go
around-
all the way to the corner, but.
The
up
pond
to
But
the
goes
pond.
to the edge of that dark gray area. Why can't it go into the far corner of that dark gray area?
Yeah, but the pond, you can see how it,
Well,
the
you can see where
pond,
the contour lines are, but the contour lines don't start until even with the south side of the driveway. Right,
so
so
contour lines go around this entire building. It really restricts everything,
it does,
big time.
but can we move that whole thing
These
way
are all
north?
ponds right here.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
There's ponds still there? Like where your mouse is? Keeps moving.
Yeah, this is the first one.
There's a pond right there.
No,
The pond doesn't start until way north, right? Right, yep, right there's your pond.
Well,
Are you
you gotta
trying
come
to
back.
hide the salt shed behind the building? Is that the reason?
You're not gonna hide it because it's like 40 some feet high.
I know.
yeah,
It's the area that was intended for the salt shed all along. As we did the design, as the design was done on this project.
what is that dark L thing around it? What is that?
Oh, that's the new pavement.
What do you mean new pavement?
Well, the area that's not paved right now.
Oh, I see. So it's gotta be new
I
pavement.
think.
Well, it's not
Let-
currently paved.
That's my question though. Do we have to have access from both ends of it?
I say no.
I don't see why we can't have access from one end.
We don't right now,
Just
right?
put it into a corner.
Yeah, we have it
Then you
now.
aren't going to be able to use it for anything else besides the salt shed.
Why?
What?
This thing
That's-
is huge. It's 60 feet
The
wide,
access-
40 feet long.
The access on both ends, from what I understand from Michael, is you guys separate sand from salt.
And
Okay.
140 feet of length, you can't stack sand on port side,
Well,
starboard side,
How,
or
how are we doing it now with one entrance in our
Right.
salt shed now? How are we?
Just get mixed together.
Okay.
That and you'd have two different sheds too.
We'll have two separate sheds, that's true, yes.
Where's our other shed?
They're right next to each other.
Directly south of the larger one.
Think of that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I'm fine.
Well, we don't have fuel on the site. We moved fuel off site.
where was
We were
fuel?
planning fuel.
Where was fuel originally?
Short-sighted though, if we do it just one entrance.
I mean, so hopefully we're saving road miles by not having to come back and fuel and then going back out. And I'm sure there'll be a good argument on that, but does the salt has to be here, huh?
I would like to see it farther north, as far north as we can get, so you're not
Mm-hmm.
in the pond. And if we still have to have access on both ends, I'm okay with that, but otherwise, that entire space to the north is straight wasted. There's way too much wasted space on this site already. We had to have this site because our other site wasn't big enough. And I feel like this site wasn't laid out as efficiently as it could have been. We wasted a pile of space. So now that we're constrained again, just how we were on this other site. I mean, the concrete isn't even cured yet, it's still cracking, and we've got our hands tied. Let's make good use of this space.
We were gonna put this building on that site. Now, if
That was the-
we would have done that, would have we then, because we were probably grandfathered in without having all the contoured ponds? Would have we had to put all the contoured ponds in at that old site?
We'd have had to put, yeah, we would have been disturbing more
Well, you could have put it on
area than.
But we would have never been able to do
We would have
that.
been over the threshold to require the stormwater management stuff, yes.
disturb more than 1 acre. So you had to do it under the parking lot like they did all these or wherever.
Yeah.
But I think we should do the both doors, just otherwise, at some point in time, we're gonna go, gee, we should have.
I I'm not against two doors. I just think that it's not laid out efficiently on the site.
Right.
Is there any,
Well, I don't
John,
know.
is there any
I'm not
reason why we
arguing
can't
with you.
move this farther north?
Well,
I think it's for maneuverability, and Michael's probably the better one to
But
answer.
you're not
How
gonna
about-
drive through the dirt anyways.
how
Don't you have
about
40
if we
feet?
move this all the way to the south, to that corner? There's no pond, there's no nothing there. Move that right over there, yeah. Put it right there. What would be wrong with that?
It's up, well, that's already paved, so they're gonna have to tear out asphalt to put concrete in.
Why can't we have a asphalt,
This thing is gonna be there forever.
Not-
Let's
no.
get it in the
It's gonna be
right
an
place
asphalt-
now.
It's gonna be an asphalt floor on it.
Is it?
Let's get this in the right place now and not just
It is?
kind of put it in the
Okay.
center.
That's my understanding, right, John? This is the asphalt floor on this thing, right?
Yeah, and the only reason, the only thing you want to maybe be concerned with pushing to the south is you're going to have a lot of backup alarms going now right tight against those residences to the south. You know, they're going to still hear it, but you're going to be, 300 feet closer to it.
Well, welcome to Pick and Save. I dealt with that for 15 years.
But yeah, if you want to move it on the
Backup
side, I would
alarms are gonna be
defer to
happening
Michael,
all the
'cause-
time. Yeah, all the time. Yeah, Coca-Cola, same thing. Mhm.
Well, we could approve
Approve the
the
project.
bid and discuss the placement further at the next board meeting with Michael, correct?
There you go.
Sure.
I like that.
I like that idea.
Right, let's
So if
go.
we get back to this bid tab, the square footage is way different from the original to the revised. What was the reasoning? I know Michael had mentioned something about, we have, I don't know, 100 yards of storage or something, and he wanted to upsize that to a something for, because we can buy salt at a better price, and obviously we're growing, so we may need more salt. So why did the size go, let's just say on bid 2, from 8,400 feet to 7,200 square feet?
You're talking about going from the 62 by 140 to the 62 by 130?
Sure.
The
If
62
you
by
look at bid
130 was
3.
what we intended to bid. And
That's not what Alan Becker bid originally.
the bidder at their discretion gave us a number on a larger building, because they were given that latitude to provide that.
Sure.
Wanted to get a number on the intended size though.
Okay.
So
And I guess, I'm sorry but just to understand, I guess, the manual doors are fine.
There's no power out there now anyways, right?
What
We
kind of-
didn't,
what
we didn't
kind of
trench
manual-
conduit, we didn't do any of that.
It's just a pole chain or what?
We have manual doors now.
Oh,
Leave them open and then when you're done, done for the day, you can just close them up. So I think,
Pieces of rope on it.
Okay.
they could be upgraded to power in the future if they needed to, couldn't they?
right?
Okay,
I mean, if this was originally going to have power, we should have trenched it out there. This is a green space. When this was originally bid, if we were gonna put a salt shed here and there was gonna be powered doors on here, shame on whoever designed this and didn't pull conduit and put a trench
Well,
on the backside, because now you're cutting up the parking lot, or you're gonna bore under the parking lot to pull power
What kind
here.
of door do we have on the one right now?
manual.
Why can't
Is
we
there any
go manual?
lighting?
Why can't we go manual?
that's what we're saying.
We should go manual. Let's go
We're
manual.
fine with the manual
Yeah,
door.
I think
So
so.
that's the 506,600 number.
How do we get lighting in there? Is the lighting underground now or no? So we gotta have to do something with lighting.
And if you're pulling power there anyways.
Yep. Isn't there a light pole on the backside or something anywhere?
John, is there power out there?
There's a back row of lights. I don't know what the exact layout. I would have to look at it. I don't have it memorized, so I can look into it.
I guess the question was, are we gonna have to bore underneath the parking lot to get power out to the shed for lighting and powered doors, if that's what we wanted to do? Or is there something already that exists that we can tap into?
I believe they're not going under the parking lot. If anything, they're going under that short drive to the north that hooks around from the backyard.
But you're still boring to get there,
Oh, yeah.
or cutting out the parking lot.
Yep. You gotta cut somewhere. Yeah, because the parking lot, the whole drive goes
It's all
on.
paved. So you'd have to come out,
What does it say on the bottom? said something about electrical. Scroll back down a little bit. All electrical work to be associated with.
The electrical's coming out of the north side of the building in the green space and then heading east and boring underneath that short section of driveway.
Okay. And is that included in the price?
I believe that was one of the alternate bids. I'd have to look. I don't have, like I said, I don't have the bid form memorized.
Can you look at it while we're in the meeting here?
No, I'm sitting in a parking lot.
When is this estimated to be started, stopped, finished?
They have an estimate of 130 days.
How long do we have to approve this? Because if we don't have an answer on the electrical tonight, we don't have an answer on the site plan, do we defer this for 2 weeks until the next board meeting?
Or would you approve the building, but then look at the site?
Well, the building we'd have to approve with or without power.
Mhm.
It would make, if you're pulling power to it, to put lights,
My
then
concern
you'd have
is
the option for a
how
door.
How long does it take if you approve this to get it?
Yeah,
you
do
know,
we
get it
have
ordered.
until,
What's our acceptance
Usually
timeline?
have 60 to 90 days.
Well, so they get moving on it and then in 3 weeks, we decide where and how electrical. At least they know it's a go
right,
and they can start ordering.
Or the building.
components.
I guess we should, yeah, then we need to decide which way we're going. We're going with manual doors,
Yes,
506, 600 number.
yes.
Yes,
Yes,
but we're still gonna need lighting, so, but yeah, let's go
With
with
dual doors.
okay, I'll make a
option
motion.
3 with, where do you see dual doors?
Well, that's where I'm looking.
That's what the,
That's what manuals are.
that's what the
It's not
design
going
is.
well.
The design is with the doors on each end.
Okay,
Oh, dual doors, I see.
Okay, I can make a motion then.
Go ahead.
I make a motion to approve revised bid number 3 with manual doors for a dollar amount not to exceed $506,600 with placement of the salt shed to be determined at the next board meeting in conjunction with Director Widalski.
what about electrical?
But that's can be decided there too.
And some further discussion on electrical at that time as well.
I'll second. that.
Second by Ermeling. Okay, so we have a motion by Cronin, second by Ermeling. Anything more on the discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. All right, moving on to number 8. Discussion and or action on bids and contract work for public safety building, exterior renovations, masonry. This is not gonna be included, but exterior painting and alternates and exterior signage. What's your pleasure?
I will make a motion to award the exterior painting to Omni Glass and Paint, to include outbuilding 1 and 2, as recommended by the Public Safety Building Exterior Renovations Ad Hoc Committee earlier this evening, and also to award the signage to Finishing Touch. I think CUNY, the architect, and engineering, the engineering fees are not $25,000, but will be determined before the next village board meeting. We've also made a motion to amend the contract with CUNY. Suspend all exterior work at this time and narrow the scope of the contract to only interior work.
You mean opposite?
As you were, to exclude interior work, include exterior. Is that right, second term?
Yes.
All right, motion by Pincinel,
Second.
second by Cronin. Any more on the discussion?
I'm glad they know what they're talking about.
Yep, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Staff updates. Staff update,
That's this time.
okay. Pam? Jessica? Any?
Just Michael's new person starting on Monday. I'm gonna onboard him tomorrow. He's gonna come in and we're gonna go through all the paperwork.
New person meaning
In the Streets Department.
road, right? Yeah, okay. The guy with the person we were short.
And then Sean has a seasonal starting on Monday also.
That's it for staff. Move into closed session. Move to closed session per Wisconsin stat 19.85, parent 1, parent E, deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session, to wit, marketing/development of village property at 5500 Schofield Avenue. And move to closed session per 19.85, parent 1, parent C, to consider employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, to wit, review candidates for administrative position. Roll call vote.
Maloney,
Yes.
Cronin,
Yes.
Ermeling,
Yes.
Hardinger,
Here.
Senold,
Yes.
Wyland,
Yes.
and Zagami is
Is
excused.
excused. All right, we're now in closed session.